one win left, and they're there. The map is going to be Battlefield of Eternity. They take a small risk on this, given that BlossoM has looked stronger on this map recently, but it's still not a bad map pick for them.
Take a look at solo matchup, solo lane matchup. If it's going to be Sonya again from Wiz, because this map, Martel wins hard because of that percent damage onto the Immortal. Also, Hanzo will be highly contested, even though Tempest has been first picking Genji when there was not banned, and BlossoM actually has been banning Genji game 2 and 3 to start off the game. Hanzo is a top tier list right now in BOE. Still, starting with the Genji ban, basically forcing. Okay, they will, because of the Garrosh, they will actually get their hands on the Hanzo.
They will have Hanzo, and that's the defining factor on this map. So that's the great thing about first pick here on BOE, is you will get the Hanzo if you want it. The fact that they're not instantly locking it in means they may have other plans. Their first pick Hanzo on Cursed Hollow is what won them the map, the fast camp clears. I think this was obviously going to be a Hanzo pick. I think they're thinking about one step ahead, just using that time bank to consider some more options and possibilities. Last time it was the Maiev and Malfurion from Tempest.
Twice in a row.
And
What's
again,
more?
so,
It's scary right now from Dami.
remember last time they had the Hanzo first pick, it was a Medivh ban, so they had Garrosh as well. They will not have that same liberty this time. Garrosh not as strong on this map, in my opinion, because last time he was able to delay so much and survive through basically everything on Cursed. A little bit different this time.
I think it's all about Gondar's hero right now. Before that second tank ban comes in, I think he should be picking whatever he wants to do right here, because Stukov may be banned, but Nasa can play a lot of the other supports. So I don't think that's as highly contested. Malfurion already taken. So picking up a tank, maybe the solo lane up here, seems like the best two choices out of the four.
Well, holding this for a long time, we can't really predict what it will be until we get more info. Stukov has been the obvious choice versus the Maiev, but actually they grab ETC and the
Still
Sonya.
ETC.
Yeah, and very early, heavy priority in the draft this time. So Stukov probably going to be the ban here because they already have a support. Stukov's the best choice. Phoenix, interesting. I don't know about that one. That must be some sort of like secret pick. We've seen Ariel obviously with Garrosh, but not with this comp.
They don't have to focus on the global as much. So they're not banning. They don't really have to ban the global.
This is such a puzzling Ariel ban. I know it was used yesterday, but like,
And Crystal Ages was mostly on Garrosh.
yeah, but it's just it's really strange because Stukov is going to be the pick that you want against the Maiev, combos. Please excuse the in-game music. No chat forgot to turn it off. So, is this indicating to us that BlossoM is trying to do something different here that Tempest has encountered in scrims or heard about, or is this just trying to bait the Stukov pick out?
I think it's just a response from yesterday night, where Ariel had some super saves onto the tank and to the DPS, and it was paired up with the Hanzo.
Li Ming
For the
gonna be
pokes
safe for poke, yeah.
and the resets.
The big question is, it's tough to say like where BlossoM is going to take this draft now, because they have poke and they have race potential, but they also have some aggressive dive with the Sonya ETC. So they're going to save their final DPS here to just see how it kind of counteracts, or sorry, their final tank to see how it interacts with what comes through. If we see something that furthers dive here, I think they'll pick up the Arthas maybe. Oh, this is such a weird draft. We're still looking for the support as well with that final DPS, so we'll find out what the function of the Hanzo pick will be. Is it just going to be protect the Hanzo with Sonya dominating the solo lane to win the Immortals, win the objectives, not worry as much about the 4-man? or are they going to pick something safer to have some extra poke, like a Tychus here? They don't know what the tank is, so that's so frustrating, because, you know, you can't pick a Tychus here without that information. It's just not going to be the correct option. So hard choice.
I think Wiz picking Sonya all day has been hurting. If he was willing to go for some or sustain, maybe steal that Blaze away from good, I think could have been a better way, providing an exit for ETC also whenever he's low. So finally they're bringing Tychus, a change from their back line, even though they don't really know what the tank is going to be. Having a solid option, and also Odin for the explosion damage.
Well, this makes the tank choice obvious, I think. It has to be Johanna.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so unfortunate that, you know, they had to pick this leading into the tank, because there's so many great tank options. Had we seen something a little bit more aggressive of a pick, like maybe a Vala even, or just any other options like Greymane, for example, then the Arthas pick would have been so great. But now it's just like, this is Johanna, right? Like, I can't imagine any other tank coming through. Wow. I don't like this pick at all, not even one bit.
Quite unexpected.
Quite unexpected. What is the function of the Tyrael here? Shielding is going to help protect Lockdown if he's dove upon by Sonya, but that should almost theoretically never happen with any other tank.
Judgment.
The blinds, so good. Yeah, that's what I'm starting to wonder. You know, the Oreo ban? Like, Oreo ban's like, oh, can't use Judgment because the Aegis comes through. Like, I think you might be onto something with this.
Are they willing? Are they going to test that out on the game when they have basically the match point right here against BlossoM?
Well, we're going to find out, G-Clef. This could be a crazy Judgment game. You know, I talked about how we went back to the old style. You know, it feels like for Tempest, their win versus KSV Black at the beginning of the season, where they ran, honestly, a little bit cheesy of strategies. We haven't seen creativity from them since that series in week 1. And now that we're in the playoffs, they go back to the Tyrael pick. Let's see if they do end up using that Judgment, or if it's going to be, you know, just Sanctification for extra protection. But that doesn't seem to make sense to me. They want to burst down a target, I think. That's such a weird thing, because they don't have much other follow-up CC. They can root, and they can Blaze charge in, but...
And oftentimes, Wolf is saying this because oftentimes, and it's Tempest, because we know them so well, and they oftentimes use Tyrael along with a Sonya, or at least a Rehgar. That's their style.
Yeah, yeah.
Or Falstad. None of them are together. Li Ming is the only one. Maiev, kind of similar with the Sonya, but not the same. And Blaze doesn't really do too much burst damage in terms. So that's why we are kind of not sure what the behind reason is.
Because the Judgment pick seems to make sense in some ways, but in other ways it's not as powerful because of the lack of follow-up, like you said. But then Sanctification feels totally worthless against this comp.
Containment disc? No. 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 Not even a chance.
No containment disc.
Combustion?
No combustion. Well, I mean, combustion plus Judgment. No, I don't think so. I think the Sank is like, you already have Bunker. Bunker's not that great against this comp because it's slow damage. There's almost nothing burst about what BlossoM is doing. It's a comp that's designed to raise. And the reason why we're so puzzled by the Tyrael pick is not because Tyrael is super weak here. I mean, you know, for the reasons we listed, he's not insanely strong. But Johanna blinds both Hanzo and Tychus, end of story. You literally, if you hit the blind on those heroes in a straight-up fight, they cannot do damage. So that was the pick that we thought was obvious. We've already seen Sign play Johanna once tonight. It's in his hero pool. Let's wait and see. Let's not judge this too early. No pun intended. Let's see if this ends up working out post-10. Pre-10, we're seeing a lot of respect here from Gondar against Dami's Maiev. Wiz is winning the solo lane matchup. The Sonya pick, as expected, is able to even steal this camp. Not a massive win or anything like that, but we do see the ETC follow-up here with the silence. Dami survives. Lockdown doing massive, massive damage here. These Li Mings tonight. Watch out.
Even though BlossoM is pushing now, already a turret down onto their wall. I mean, in the meantime, Sonya can't really win too hard against the Blaze. Blaze has a long sustain, actually. It's really hard to lose the lane with Blaze. Blaze is actually one of the heroes I think it has been so well made that throws even everyone playing Blaze. You can't really lose too hard with the Blaze, especially after the bunkers. You have your own exit, and you provide some CC. And over time, you can just take the camp also. A great hero to play in the solo lane against the Sonya.
Indeed. You know, it's a hero that's designed in such a way that there are a lot of cool outplays you can make. Has self-sustainability like Sonya. Here's the first Immortal phase. Now, Hanzo is going to rush this down so quickly. So Tempest needs to get in and be aggressive. Exactly what they're attempting to do, but so far not successful. Blaze is staying in the top lane. They're going to have half-time here, but they didn't do anything to the Immortal on the side of BlossoM. BlossoM gets this first for free, and Blaze is mostly just dealing with the camp right now. Like, this is not a successful push by any means. They get a little bit of an experience lead with the minion waves he's gotten, but the Immortal's going to do way more. They have positional advantage now, but so much poke on the other side. Li Ming is soloing the other side.
Chain stun from the pool. Tychus is caught in that stun once again from the body block.
Very well played. Still going to take a really long time for Li Ming to catch up, though. Blaze trying to give the experienced soak advantage. That's really what this is about, more than winning the Immortal race, is that soak. As Li Ming's just chipping away at potential shields here. Respawn for Tychus right now. Blaze coming down. Oh, that was a great base smell. Dami's super low. Silence here, well placed. On top of the Immortal as well, doing some additional damage. Lockdown comes in the fight, though. He gets some serious resets here. Here's the first one. Not going to get the second one just yet, but he's so close. Dudu jumping over the wall. This commitment to the smite. Bio kill switch keeps Dudu alive. He's doing a ton of damage. The Immortal, very low. Dami goes down. And I think the Tempest should be able to commit to this and win the Immortal race after this trade. They're slightly behind in experience, but this Immortal should put them right back on track. Very close call there. They got a little bit of an overcommitment trying to kill Dudu on the Hanzo.
They had a split, and Wiz was having a fun time. Bursting down onto Dami. We didn't really quite get to see that duel from the top. Still BlossoM coming up with the win. Having that Hanzo, they don't really need to get close to that Immortal at all. They can just poke from afar with that scatter arrow. Nasang positioning safely because Dami is always there to look for opportunities to drag them right in. Sonya Blaze matchup still on top.
Yep, this Immortal is getting chipped down real quick by Li Ming. But you can see that with the damage done to the wall here and the minion wave being shoved so hard, they are able to catch up in experience very quickly. Take a lead, in fact, with that matchup going in favor of Sonya. Dudu doing a ton of damage to the side here with this scatter arrow. Gondor trying to peel. Bio kill switch can be used at any time to heal everybody back up to full. Doesn't need to use it, wants to save it.
Did not finish the fort, though.
I think that's okay.
If they want to push in, of course, Hanzo with a few auto attacks will just finish that fort with the Q.
Because Sonya's winning so hard in top. They have that wall damage. The bottom wall is only slightly damaged, so BlossoM is basically winning on both sides. They were winning the top lane matchup, and then this Immortal got them a win on the bottom. And, you know, like you said, one big arrow will finish this off, but that's not even, you know, the big deal because they just have control. Like, Tempest is so significantly behind in structures. Wave clear allows them to clear this up. The minion wave's probably going to be really what gets this fort down. Grenades tossing through. And Tempest just has to sit back and contest as best as they can, but the wall will go, or so the fort will go down to these minions eventually. Not going to be this push, unless he grenades it, and he does. During this one moment, they're going to try to collapse in, but Bio kill switch should be up.
The root misses from Hyde. Dudu actually gets away safely because of that miss. I think they could have focused on Dudu a little bit more. Possibly looking for a kill right before, so they can actually take the camp at the bottom, but will get pressured out. BlossoM holding that Hanzo means basically a quick camp timing.
Checks Aldruin's out real quick. We're gonna see them take this this camp. Not quite as quick as the quick timing you were talking about, but very quick. right before this Immortal phase. BlossoM will not. They want to just race this down. They want to crush the halftime with the Hanzo pick that they have. As you can see, just already 10% dead before Tempest can even head over here. Sonya's coming down. 10 is right around the corner, so we're about to see the big first fight here. About to get that info about whether it's Judgment or not. Such a big risk. Either way, it's not going to be a huge impactful heroic for the Tyrael here. In this game, it should not be. It will be the Sank. So the Tyrael pick becomes even more puzzling. Which I know sounds weird, but you know, there was a Johanna pick available.
Against the Taikas and the Hanzo. Gondar just sitting at the bench. Because Hanzo will poke from far range. Hyde holding on to possibly a Tranquility in this case. I think if they really want to burst up with the amount of crowd control they have, Twilight Dream seems to be the better one. Again, Dami goes in with the cage. Dudu is caught with the bind. So Nasang will keep him safe in the back line.
Modern Life dove upon here. Does have enough heals to stay alive. Good's the next target here. Good connected with that spear from Wiz. And this is still a win for BlossoM. Tranquility to try to keep up with the sustain, but it ends up being pretty wasted here. Now this is the hardest part for BlossoM to finish off the Immortal because they don't have this free poke that Li Ming has. But they do control this space right now. They're going to commit the Odin. They just want to go in. Notice that Wiz just goes quick on the Immortal here. Very low health. Sanctification still available. So difficult to really dive in like this. This Odin pop was designed to give them the space to get on and finish that Immortal. It's only got 5k health left. They didn't quite get what they wanted.
Has to vault out. Still on a cooldown. We'll be back very soon. Looking for Dami. Trying to go around.
Just tossing whatever poke they can. Grenades, Qs, scatter arrows, silence to help give the space here to allow Dudu to actually fire their shots. Stukov pick doing wonders here.
ETC taking the CC.
And they will just get this with one more shot.
I think Dami just vaulted right there. So he can't really dive in. He will be caught.
They're just waiting for the grenade to come off for Modern Life so you can just toss it in. Scatter blocked, but can't block the grenade. Once Modern is ready for it, you can just toss it in. It's actually like pretty comical how long this 18 health Immortal has stayed alive. Scatter finally connects. They don't block it this time. Tempest wants to collapse.
CC on the Hanzo, the first damage, but this goes over the wall.
Easy escape here. It's Hanzo after
Overwatch.
all. Okay, Mosh Pit out of the bunker. Blaze in trouble. Good gets taken out. Immortal plus a death here. BlossoM is looking in fantastic position here. And this Tyrael pick has been totally worthless.
Yes, exactly.
Totally worthless.
Maiev dives in, but anti-synergy from Tyrael, not really the best timing together, because if you throw that Q and Vengeance in with the Maiev at the same time, it looks way too obvious. Unless you catch them super off guard, they will never be in that position.
Well, Hanzo just easily escaping there in that fight. They committed everything to that. Oh, look at this silence follow-up here. Gondar really working well with Nasam in this combo tonight. Here's the Sank. They want to commit to the fight now. They're going to burst down this Odin. First real win here for Tempest in this map. Committed a lot. Every heroic, basically, for this. And the Immortal still stands, still lives. Also going to look for a pick onto Good here. That's all they really can do. And split off to get this experience soak. Not even getting the full keep wall down, but they have 13. They have the advantage. And if that's the way the Sank is going to win fights, when BlossoM is overextending, that can be valuable, but it's never going to be valuable on the objective against this comp that's rushing down so quickly. I think what Tempest needs to do is take the same approach BlossoM is, because what Tempest is doing in these fights is trying to push the lanes, control the map when the Immortal spawns. BlossoM is going right there. They're camping up, and they are destroying the Immortal health with Hanzo. Tempest needs to beat them to the race there. They need to go. They need to be there before BlossoM gets there. They need to take a fight with Sanctification on BlossoM's terms. They don't want to be taking a fight where BlossoM is just sitting back chucking abilities at the Immortal after crushing halftime, where they have control of that race.
But the thing is, BlossoM has a Hanzo, and bounces off the wall super far away. When they finished that Immortal, Hanzo was yards away from that Immortal, and they learned the lesson that chasing the Immortal, maybe going for a push with the Immortal, will actually let opportunity for Tempest to actually catch them. Maybe next time they will send the Immortal to the other lane and maybe just go for that split push instead.
I mean, that's one way to look at it, you know, but two forts are up, and Tempest is going to even up the talent here when they clean the Shaman camp. All right, so the Angel is spawning bottom. And I think that Tempest actually should be there, like, now. Look at the BlossoM has control of the map, so they're going to push the bottom, or they have control of this lane, they're going to push the bottom keep wall. Like, Tempest needs to go there now. Like, when this Immortal, watch the Immortal health, okay? Look at this. Watch the Immortal health, watch how quickly it goes down. They need to contest it now and not later. They need to commit to the fight before this race starts. And that's exactly what they're going to do, actually. Coming in this time, they're not giving them control first. This is what they need to be doing all game long, and finally, they are doing it. So, I said look at the Immortal health. Look at it. It's not going down because they have control. The silence here just for protection so they can poke. This gives Li Ming the opportunity to race. And that's exactly what she's doing in the top Immortal right now. BlossoM has to force their way in with the Sonya pick. Stun coming through here. Dudu gets over the wall once again.
Tommy dives in, great find, but not really connecting with the best one.
Oh,
Mosh with a Sanctification drop right on top with the bunker, though.
Yeah, stacking those on top of each other. Oh, look at that follow-up arrow right on top of it. Dami is so low. He is going to get away. What a close call there. That was a sick arrow. Great judgment by Dudu. And they have the heroic advantage now. Tempest used everything for that commitment to the fight, and they needed to. They're so desperate against this Hanzo comp.
Yeah, no bunker, no Sanctification means they have no escape unless they get amazing engagement with the bind. But there's that silence now from Nasa. Has been hurting so much. Without any protection, they can't really go in. It will be a suicide mission.
Well, how can they win this now? How can they win this Immortal phase? They lost halftime again.
Bunker will be coming back soon, but Sank was on a long cooldown.
Yeah, Sank is probably at like 50 seconds right now.
Or 70 or 80. Still. They have to drag a lot of time, but in the meantime, Hanzo is doing some chip damage every single time.
Yeah, Wiz is just buying time here, whereas Hanzo is just soloing this. They just can't do anything. They can't do anything, and Dudu and crew are going to head over here and do this. They're just going to try to get as many shields down as they can. I don't even think they're going to break half. They barely break half. So half shielded Immortal. I believe going bottom, yeah. Going bottom here, pretty even. You know, keep walls at the relatively the same amount of health on both lanes. Sonya goes top to make sure they can push for 16. They know this is probably not going to kill the keep because it's not that shielded. And Tempest has Li Ming, so Lockdown can really chunk this down before it really does a ton of damage, can get rid of those shields. Sonya coming back down now, though. This is a rough time for Tempest. Dami spotted already. He's playing so greedy this game.
Nicely done by Modern there. They are still pushing it with the Immortal. They're not close to 16. Aldruin's even popping the Odin.
They want this keep. Immortal's still shielded, but as you can see, Li Ming's doing a ton to remove that, but they are committing heavily into this. Modern Life dropping all of his abilities onto the keep itself. Dami backing away here. Gondar peeling. Oh, sick power slide on the way out. Sign is so dead. No chance. Gondar with the godlike place here on the ETC. Here's the Bob stun. This may be game ending here. They're losing too many. Oh, another power slide.
Dami vaults, but solo is one more damage. That's it.
Deny, and that is going to be game. The full wipe here, Hyde. He is worthless here on the side. Tranquility to stay alive. He does get a kill on the Dudu, but it's not going to matter. We're going to a game 5. Mata indeed. There you go. BlossoM brings us to that 5th game. Great plays by Gondar there. He said in his interview yesterday, they asked him, it was Castro, he said, do you have any trash talk for your opponents tomorrow? He was the MVP yesterday. He's setting himself up to be the MVP tonight. He said, I'll tell you tomorrow when I'm in the interview again. And he's one win away from being in that chair. And he was the one who carried that last fight to be a win. It was going to be a keep. He said, I want more. I want the core. We're going to win this game.
We don't have the cooldowns on our UI, but I am pretty damn sure that Sanctification was interrupted by Gondar right there. The Fair Space Melt came right in when Sign came in with that Aldruins. It was on cooldown, and he couldn't use it. He couldn't even use it as an escape. There is only one way. It was on cooldown because it was interrupted.
I think you are exactly on the money with this. Amazing plays from Gondar. I'll even put the stats away. The stats aren't going to tell the story of this brilliant ETC player. So he has played ETC 3 games of the 4 that we had now, and this is the first win. So only 1/3 success rate, but played it so well. I don't think... The thing about picking BOE is that you pick the map, so you get first pick. And if you don't ban the Hanzo, which we have seen only on this map, Hanzo first banned sometimes. When you ban the Garrosh instead, guess what? They're going to pick the Hanzo. And then you're forced into a comp. You're like, how do we stop the Hanzo from winning? He's on top of the Immortals. We lost the fight. We tried to dive on him, but he can jump over the walls. It's so difficult. Such a great map for Hanzo. You don't ban it, and then they try to draft a draft that can dive in and kill him, but it doesn't work. They didn't commit to the Judgment. They didn't pick the Johanna. Johanna can at least slow it down a little bit, disrupt the formation, but Tyrael didn't do anything here.
I'm 100% with you. That Tyrael pick was the mistake, I think. And also Sign not really picking Garrosh himself instead means they just have to ban that Garrosh. If they let that through, I think Hanzo was going to be taken. They have their own chance of picking that Garrosh, but Sign is the only one actually within the top 4 teams that does not like to play Garrosh. He would go into ETC, a Nubarak instead. So I think that's been hurting the team overall. And at Tist, Hooligan in Ballistics, KSP Black, they will always choose Garrosh. Once they figured out that Garrosh is actually very, very OP, along with Malfurion and Stukov, the top tier supports right now, who pairs up so well. But he's the only one who's still not playing Garrosh. I think that's hurting them so much. Maybe in the 5th game, I wish he just picks up that Garrosh instead of banning it.
Yeah, I think